All right, the wisdom of Sulumon, revamping, breaking down all of my notes to make it more suitable for my listening. So 1-3, for forward thoughts separate from the Creator, and thy power, when it's tested, reproves the unwise. 4, same chapter, wisdom won't enter a malicious soul, nor dwell in the body that's subject to sin. 5, for the Holy Spirit of discipline will flee from deceit and remove from thoughts of over without overstanding. Won't abide when unrighteous comes in. 2-1, the ungodly said, life is short and tedious, death has no remedy, and no one has returned from the grave. 2-6, so let's enjoy the good things that are present, speedily use the creatures of in our youth. 2-8, 2-8, they crown ourselves with rose cups before they wither. 12, let's lie in wait for the righteous, for they not for our turn. They're clean contrary to us. They accuse us of breaking the law, objects to our infamy of transgression of the education. 13, they profess to have knowledge of the source, calling themselves the children of the Most High. 14, they're made to reprove our thoughts. 15, they're grievous unto us, even to look at. Their lives aren't like ours. They are of another fashion. 17, let's see if their word be true. Let's see what will happen or be their end. 19, examine them with spitefulness and torture to see their meekness and to prove their patience. 21, such things they have imagined and were deceived, for their wickedness has blinded them. 22-24, the mysteries of the source they know not, nor the wages of the righteous. For the source created them to be immortals, or humans to be immortal, but yet through envy of the devil or the evil one came death into the world. Those that hold of its side will find it. 3-1, the souls of the righteous are with the source. 4, for though punished in the sight, their hope is in immortality. 11, who despise wisdom and overstanding are miserable. Their hope is vain, labors unfruitful, and their works are unprofitable. 12, so 3:12, their spouses are fools and their children are wicked. 13, their offspring is cursed, therefore blessed are the barren that have not known an undefiled bed or a sinful bed. Well, she shall have fruit in the visitation of souls. 16, the seed of the adulterers shall not come to perfection and will be rooted out. 3:17, though they live long, shall be regarded as nothing. Their last age will be without honor. 4:1, better to have no children, but have virtue. For your memorial is immortal, for it's known of the source. 2, when it's present, humans take example at it. When gone, they desire it. 4:6, the children begotten of an unlawful bed are witness against their parents, the wickedness in their trials. 7, though the righteous be prevented with death, yet shall be at rest. 8, for an honorable age isn't which stands in the length of time, nor measured by years. 10, they please the source and beloved by thy living among sinners was translated. 9, all right, wisdom are the gray hairs, and the unspotted life is old age. 4:11, speedily taken away, so that the wickedness wouldn't alter their overstanding, or deceit beguile their soul. 4:13, they being made perfected in a short time, fulfilled a long time. 14, pleased the source, so it took them away in haste from among the wicked. 15, they saw and overstood it not, nor put it to their minds. Thy grace and mercy be with thy saints, respect for thy chosen. 16, the righteous who are dead shall condemn the ungodly who are living. The youth who soon have perfected many years And the old of unrighteousness, 17, shall see the end of the wise, yet not overstand. The source counsel has decreed. 18, they'll see them and despise them, but the source will laugh them to scorn. They'll be a vile carcass and a reproach among the dead. 5:1, the righteous will stand in great boldness before their faces of those who afflicted them and made no account for their labors. 5:3-4, they'll say, is this the one whom we held in derision? We are fools who accounted their lives as madness and their end to be without honor. 5, how are they numbered with the children of the source? 8, what has pride profited us, and what good have riches with our vaunting brought us? 13, from birth we begin to draw near to our end, having no sign of virtue to show, yet consumed by wickedness. 6:3, for power is given you of the source, sovereignty from the Most High, who'll test thy works and search out thy counsel. 9, unto kings I speak, that you learn wisdom and not fall away. 10, keep holiness and be found holy. Learn such things and we'll have what to answer. 18, love is keeping thy laws, giving heed to the laws protects from incorruption. 24, the multitude of the wise is the welfare of the world. All right, so 24, the multitude of the wise is the welfare of the world. The wise king is the upholding of thy people. 7:1, I myself am mortal like you. 2, I was in my mother's womb for 10 months. 7:7, I prayed and overstanding was given. Allowed to wait. My bad. So I prayed and overstanding was given. I called to the source and the spirit of overstanding was given. 7:8, I preferred her over scepters and thrones, esteemed riches as nothing compared to her. 13, I learned diligently and do communicate her liberally. I don't hide her riches. 14, she's a treasure that never fails. Using her becomes one with the source, commends with gifts that come from learning. 17, thy gave certain knowledge, namely to know how the world was made. 18, the beginning, the middle, and the end of all times, the alterations of the turning of the sun, the change of the seasons. 19, the circus of the years, position of the stars. 20, nature of living creatures, violence of the winds, the reasoning of humans, the diversities of plants, and the virtues of roots. 21, all such things that are of either secret or known, I know. 22, for wisdom, which is the worker of all things, taught me, for it is an overstanding heart / spirit, holy, one only, manifold, undefiled, clear, lively, plain, not subject to hurt, loving things of good, quick, ready to do good, isn't able to be lettered. 24, wisdom is more moving than any motion, passes and goes through all things by reason. 25, for it's the breath of the power of the source, a pure influence flowing from the glory of the Most High. Therefore, no defiled thing may enter. 7:27, being but one, able to do all things, remaining in itself, makes all things new, entering holy souls, make them one with the source and prophets. 7:28, the source loves none but those who dwell in wisdom. 7:29-30, more beautiful than the sun above the orders of the stars, being compared with light, she's found before it. For after this comes night, but vice shall not prevail against wisdom. 8:7, if you love righteousness, I'll teach you the temperance and prudence, justice and fortitude, for her labors are virtue. 8:8, desire much experience, and she knows all the things of the old. conjecture right what's to come. No subtle of speeches, able to expound dark sentences, foresees the signs and wonders, the events of seasons of times. 8-9. I propose to live with her. She's a counselor of good things, a comfort in cares, and so a comfort in cares and in grief. I believe so. 13. By means of it, I'll obtain immortality, leaving an everlasting memorial. 14. I'll set nations in order. Humans will be subject unto me. 15. Horrible tyrants will be afraid when only hearing of me. I'll be among a good multitude and valiant at war. 16. When home, I'll repose myself to her, for her conversation has no bitterness. Living with her brings no sorrow, only mirth and joy. 17 through 18. Pondered in my heart how to be allied with wisdom is immortality. Her works are infinite riches, exercises of her conference, prudence. Talking with her is a good report. 19 through 20. I was a witty child, having a good spirit, being good, came into a undefiled body. 21. When I realized only the source would be able to give to me, this was a point of wisdom. I prayed and besought thy with my whole soul / body or heart. 9-5. For I'm of your handmaid and your servant. I am feeble and of a short time. I don't understand your laws or judgment. 9-6. If a human never be perfect, yet having no wisdom, will be regarded as nothing. 14. For thoughts of mortals are miserable, and devices uncertain, or devices are uncertain. 15. Corruptible body press or hold down the soul. Earthly tabernacles weighs down the mind that ponders or muses upon many things. 16. Hardly do we guess aright upon the matters of the earth. With labor we find things that are before us, but of the heavens created or / creator's realm, who has searched them out? Question mark. 10, 1 through 5. It served the firstborn of the world, brought them out of their full gave power to the rulers of. So it served the firstborn of the world, brought them out of their full, gave power to rule all things. When they went away from it in their anger, they perished in fury for the murdering of their brethren. Reason for the flood, yet it preserved and directed the path of the righteous. 11:1. Prospered the work of the prophets. 2. Went through the wilderness and pitched tents where no one dwelt. 12:2. Chastened them little by little, that they remember their evil and turn to the source. 9:10. Not that the source isn't able to destroy at once, yet passing judgment gave them a chance of repentance, not being ignorant that they are an unruly generation, that malice is in them, and their cognition would never be changed. 13:1. Vain are those ignorant of the source of all the good things, still aren't able to see it, nor by considering thy works acknowledge the workmaster. 12:2 through 3. Yet appointed gods over the elements. 13:4. If astonished at them, how much more than the one who created them? Or how much more is the one that created them? 17:7. Illusion is the art of magic. They were put down, vaunting in wisdom was reproved, and they disgraced. 17:8. Those promising to drive out terror and troubles from a sick body or a sick soul were sick themselves of fear, worthy to be laughed at. 18:1. Thy saints had very great light. Those voice they wouldn't hear, so their voice they wouldn't hear, for they also hadn't suffered the same things that they counted them happy. 18:2. Now they didn't hurt them whom they had wronged, yet thanked them, sought their pardon, for they had been enemies. 18:3. Yet they gave them a pillar of fire as a guide for the unknown path, also to entertain them honorably. 18:4. They were worthy to be deprived of light and imprisoned in darkness, who kept the sons shut up, whom the uncorrupt light of the law was to be given unto the world. 18:5. And when they determined to slay the babes of the saints, one child being saved, to reprove them, you took away the multitude of their children, destroyed them in the water. 18:9. Righteous children of good men did sacrifice secretly, with one consent made a holy law, that the saints would be of the same good and evil. 8:10. Yet on the other side was an ill cry of the enemy. 11. Master and servant were punished in one manner. As the king suffered, so did the common people. 20. The righteous tasted death as well of the multitude in the wilderness, but wrath didn't last long. 21. For the blameless made haste and stood forth to defend, brought calamity to an end, declaring to be a servant of the source. 22. So that he overcame the destroyer, not by force, but with a word, subdued it that punished. 18:25. The destroyer gave heed to these and was afraid of them, for it was enough that they had tasted the wrath. 14:16. In process of time, an ungodly custom grew and was kept as law. A graven image was worshipped. 14:17. Those who were able to be in his presence, so those who weren't able to be in his presence made a copy that they may flatter him. I believe this is 19. Willing to please one in authority, did their best to copy the image. 20. The multitude took him for a god, who little before was honored as a man. 21. This was an occasion to deceive the world. 22. Still wasn't enough that they erred in the knowledge of the source. They lived in a great war of ignorance. Those so great plague called they peace. 22-24. They killed the children for sacrifices, made revealing of strange rites. They kept neither lives nor marriage, also slew each other traitorously, and grieved them with adultery. 25-26. So reigned in all of humans blood, corruption, perjury, and all manners of evil, forgetting good turns and committing ungodly acts. 27-28. For worshiping idols is the cause and the end. For either they're mad when they're merry, prophesizing lies, or live unjustly. 15:3. To know the source is perfect righteousness. For mischievous humans didn't deceive us. 2:7. Let's fill ourselves with costly wine and ointments. Let no flower of the spring pass us by. 2:9. Let no one go without their part of voluptuousness, leaving tokens of our joyfulness in every place. 2:11. Let our strength be the law of justice, for that which is feeble is worth nothing.